Good evening. Welcome to the last summer episode of the Spooky Second podcast, hosted by the Alfred State Paranormal Investigation and Urban Exploration Club. Tonight we will have JD, the club president, Sophie, the club vice president, and Boots talking with Chris Sutton, a local paranormal investigator and modern day shaman. So, Chris, how did you get involved with the paranormal?
Well, what happened was I've been practicing shamanism for about 5 or 6 years before that, and this is back in 1998, before the ghost shows and stuff. And a friend of mine's son was a DJ at the local community college. He's in the radio and broadcasting program, and he wanted to do an all-night ghost hunting. And he goes, because I'd known him since he's like my nephew. I've known him since he was born. Of course, he goes, "Hey, Chris, you think you can do this?" Well, I deal with energy, spirit guides and spirit animals or energy, ghost energy. Let's give it a shot. And so, it went really well. I mean, I didn't make everything up because I pretty much went along, but, I was, of course, more sensitive. I mean, we didn't have any, instruments. I think somebody might have had a tape recorder. But I know we had some encounters and went good. And so I've been, doing it here and there ever since.
So, what all is a modern day shaman?
I don't know. It's probably the same as any other shaman, just in modern day. I first, when I was, it's 1993, my wife took me to a powwow, and I had no idea about any of this kind of stuff. It's very scientific, and religious background was in Unitarianism, which is more philosophical. And so my wife took me to this powwow, and I went into a building where they had a warrior's dance going on. And so, the music was the drumming and the chanting and the rattles and stuff. And this is what happens, is that these things propel your mind to a different state where you're more accepting, or your intuitive abilities, your sensitive abilities become greater. And it's a change of brain waves as well. So all of a sudden, I knew that I was in our world, but I was also another world that my other foot was in. I had no idea what that was. Actually scared the crap out of me at first. And so I'm like, okay, well, I got to figure this out. Because I'm not going to let this go. Because this is really cool. So I just walked over to the vendors, grabbed a book, didn't know what I was looking for. It's called Black Elk Speaks. And so I read that. It was about Sioux medicine, man. And so this is how the universe works. And I don't care what you're doing in life. You find the right thing, and you say yes to it. I want to do this, and the universe will start opening doors for you. So I read this book, and then in Lakota, they pray with the pipe, the Kalanite wooden stem pipes, and they call it pipestone, but Chanupa is the right name for it. Chanupa Wakana, holy pipe. And so I thought to myself, I think as I read that in the book, that'd be really cool to do that with people. And so about a few weeks later, I was living pretty close to Chicago back then. I live down by St. Louis now. So I'm thumbing through this magazine out of Chicago, Metaphysical magazine. And you look at the shops and stuff, and they had an event list. And so I'm looking through this stuff, and this one place in the New Age shop in the South Burbs had a pipe circle. They advertised a pipe circle. So I'm like, that'd be cool. So I call him up. Yeah, you gotta come to your pipe circle. Yeah, you come to the pipe circle. So I go to the pipe circle, I meet my first teacher. And it just snowballs after that. I mean, it's a great experience. So my initial training, and actually all my training, is pretty old stuff. I mean, the place Lakota been for hundreds of years. if not 1,000. So I got into that, and I met some cool people. I met Sitting Bull's, the guy who carried Sitting Bull's pipe, his actual pipe. I got to smoke that one time, and met lots of other cool folks. Learned a lot of great things, and so I was going through that. So, but that's basically how it started. I mean, I practice a Seawest medicine now. As I moved back home, and this is how it works too. Like I kind of feel like I need a change, and I mean, if I went through the whole thing, the show would be over, because that I'll be talking about. But I need a change, and so I was hanging around the house. We had moved back, and so I was hanging around the house, reading the paper, see this big ad in there. Come see Johnny Moses. This is Seawest medicine tradition. So SIU Edwardsville, which is a college real close to me. So I went to that, and I met Johnny and people from Red Cedar Circle. And so, yeah, and that's how I got started in that. And I've been doing that for 20-some years. But, yeah, I mean, I use teachings from both. I'm probably more eclectic than most. There's a thing called neo-shamanism and core shamanism that people use. It's basically it's good stuff, don't get me wrong. But it's different takes in old ways. And I think for some people that works really well. I was lucky enough to have, teachers from different traditions to show me the way, and that's the way I follow.
So, how different would what would the varying degrees be that it differs from the old way to more modern shamanism?
I would say you start with Michael Harner and his book called The Way of the Shaman, which is called core shamanism. It's taken a lot of the attributes of the different. You take different attributes of different traditions. There are some common, like spirit journeying, going to the other world to meet with spirits and animal spirits and your guides. Okay, that's pretty well across the board. Even in the United States, see people talk about Native American shamanism. Shit, there's 500 and some of them, not just one. So you got Siberia, South America, basically 6 continents. You got the Kahuna medicine in Hawaii. That's lovely stuff, but it's basically the neos are more, taking that and not just it's partially out of respect to, I think, that we're not trying to follow a certain native path. We're going to take the commonalities into all shamanic practices and create something with that. And so that's the difference to me. I've known a lot of people, neo-shamans, so I don't know for sure. But that's how I've seen everything I've read. That's what I've seen. It's more of a combination of different things that's done respectfully.
So it seemed like some of this types of shamanism that you were mentioning are also different types of witch culture. Like, what is the relationship there?
Okay, the Lakotas, like the Sioux Indian culture. There's a lovely story about how the medicine came to the people. And this is before they had the pipe, and many years ago. And these 2 guys were out hunting, and a beautiful woman comes walking towards them. Now, one of the hunters had impure thoughts about this lovely woman, and she cast her eyes upon him. He disappeared in a cloud of fog, and when the fog cleared, he was a skeleton with maggots crawling on him. The other guy decided, well, that's not the way to go. So he shows her all respect and talks to her. She says, "Take me to your people." So she goes to the people and first gives them the pipe, talks about how to pray with it, gives them the 7 ceremonies, the 7 sacred ceremonies, and they learn, and she teaches those all to them. And when she was done teaching, she rolled in the dust and sprang up as a white buffalo and ran off into the distance. So that's a boiled down version of it. But yeah, I mean, that's the traditional thing there. It's the Sioux. That's where all that stuff comes from. The other way I practiced at sea was medicine. That's out of the Pacific Northwest, Puget Sound area, Vancouver Island. I was just out there too. Such a great place. It was my teacher's 60th birthday, so I got to go, and my friend of mine went, and out to Port Townsend, Washington, and got to see a bunch of cool people and stuff. But it's more of a Seciwas is because you got so many different tribes there in Washington, along the Sound especially, and so they all kind of spoke different languages. Some things were common, some things weren't. So they, rather than fight each other, let's figure out a way to pray with one another, sing songs. That's what they did. They kind of, combined some of their stuff and came up with a Seciwas message, which means sacred breath. Because every breath we take is a sacred breath. Every breath is a prayer. And so they started doing that. I mean, they still have secret societies and things like that. Every nation does, every tradition, see. And at least in Native American, they have those secret societies. But this is made to be intertribal. And I think that's one of the reasons I got into it. And it's been going on for years. But it's meant to be taught to anybody with good heart. And so my teacher was one of 5 who was sent by the elders to teach people who would listen and wanted to learn the ways. And that's how I got into it. Because I liked that. I carried a pipe for quite a while. Always felt a little funny doing that. I have no native blood whatsoever. Well, South American Indian of all things. So I mean, if I was really my true calling, I would have taken all the shit in the world and not worried about it. But in here, in my heart, I knew I need to go, a different direction. There were things I had to do that might be, I need to be in something more neutral because I'll be drawing attention to myself. And I didn't want to put up with that crap. And it all felt good. Spirits on both sides were good. So it was a good transition. But yeah.
So how would somebody that wanted to start with shamanism find a way into it?
You got to kind of look around. I always tell people that, to go up to for one thing, you got to find a medicine person who go that route. And it's always a tricky business. You got to get to know people first. You have to prove yourself that this is really what you want. Not by saying, I'll be a shaman, but just being there, being part of the group. I would also advise people. I was talking about that book earlier, The Way of the Shaman, by Michael Harner. And he was with the Foundation for Shamanic Studies. And they still teach classes and things. They have classes across the country. That's not a bad route to go either. But I will say this. If it's really something that you're supposed to be doing, it'll find you. You can try to, do the harder stuff. You can go get to know people that are in circles or groups that practice certain traditions. You kind of got to look around for them. They don't want to advertise, usually. So, it takes work. And universities, you're doing stuff like that. Say, okay, let's see what you got. And put you in the path that somebody need to be in the path with. Again, that's what happened to me. I go to this powwow, get lit up by the spirit, so to speak. Then, next thing you know, I'm smoking a pipe. Within 6 weeks. That's how it works sometimes. Some people are meant to be shaman. They're not going to find your way. But, again, there's a lot of things in shamanism you can learn that will help you whether you become a shaman or not. I teach classes on like a shamanism 101 just to explain what happens. You do this, and all the basic stuff. Don't give up any secrets or anything like that. I don't do the ceremonies that I know, especially Lakota ones. Yeah, I'm just, but yeah, I mean, if you just can't find anybody, read on Michael Horner's book, get in touch. If they're online, I mean, if you Google Foundation for Shamanic Studies, it'll pop up. It's got all kinds of cool stuff on there. Yeah, that's where I probably began.
So for the shamanism, you also do paranormal investigation and use those skills, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like when I started, that's all I had. So I did drums to attract the spirits. And you learn to commune with things of energy, these spirits and stuff. And so it was the same thing. Like we found the first time I did this, we found a room where a young lady had committed suicide. And it was like, I mean, those are tough to walk into. The energy there. I mean, she wasn't still there. But that type of violence leaves a scar, a lack of energy that you can feel it. Non-sensitives are, if you're turned off, you're not going to feel it. But if you're open, and it doesn't, you can be open, and there's no special, I don't have any special powers. I trained myself to do it. So it's anybody, everybody has some degree of it. Some people are better than others, yes. Everybody has some degree of it. So yes, I did that. And I mean, I learned how to, over the years, I have gadgets, every once in a while. But it's more to back up what I'm feeling out there. And I don't use them very often. But yeah, I mean, I really got into it. I always did use them. But we were an outdoor thing one time, kind of. Had like cabins in a big house. And the house was like the second oldest house west of the Mississippi. It's an old French mining town. And so I was hanging outside. And now we're not just talking about ghosts here. We're talking about cryptids and all sorts of stuff. I'm standing outside. The rest of the group's in one of the cabins. And so I see these little twinkly lights in the grass. I'm like, fireflies. They're the wrong color, though. They're like white. Fireflies all yellow. And so I took a couple of steps towards it. As I advanced, the lights retreated. Didn't disappear. They retreated. It's like, I looked, there's no light behind me, it's not a shadow. You always look to debunk. You always look to debunk anything first. You always look for a reason why it shouldn't be there for you. I think it is. So I knelt down and felt the grass bone dry. So it's not new. So I took some steps back. Here they come back out again. So the other guy walks up and goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "What's this?" And I walked towards it and then back. And I walked back. Here they came back again. And the guy goes, "What?" I said, "Yeah." He checked out the same stuff I did. He goes, "Damn." So yeah, they were just like little fairy lights, ghost lights, what do you call them? Some people call them spook lights. A friend of mine, Dave Glidden, did a real good documentary on spook lights. I look out in the woods, because there's a creek in the woods back in there. I see this red, it wasn't an orb, it was something pretty big. Now I thought it was like a tail light of a truck, a pickup truck or something. Yeah, they're the same color. So I'm like, I didn't hear anything. So the guy saw it. The hell was that? I don't know. So I asked one of the locals, I said, later on, I said, "Is there a road back there?" He goes, "No, why?" I see this red glowing ball moving back there. He goes, "I always see that shit all the time." I mean, somebody told me some stories, just insane stuff. But so later on, we had investigated the inside of the old house. We came back and there's kind of a field right next to it. And I got everybody in a circle. And I said, I gotta try something. And I'm sorry, there's a dog in my room. Dude, get out.
Come here, Rudy.
But I'm sorry about that. We're babysitting a dog. Jeez, little shit's a terror. So anyway, got everybody in a circle, and I start drumming to Selah songs and singing. Did that for a little bit. And every one of us addressed, introduced ourselves, and said why we're there. You know, it's all, you know, here to listen to your story. We're here to learn, you know. And all of a sudden, the tree, about 3 trees. Now, all these trees, there's a bunch of them, you know, it's like woods. Next to us, about 3 trees started swaying like it was windy. And it wasn't any wind. And like right there and then, I'm like, this is cool. So like I'm not pretty much almost out of the business of investigating inside houses. I love going outside. But yeah, I mean, the stuff. I mean, I've been to New York to commune with the Pukwudgie, which is a little people from the Eastern tribes. Things like that, you know.
Like a troll type thing, right?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. They kind of look like a troll. But yeah, I wouldn't call them one, though. But you don't want to piss them off, from what I understand. But I am. But so I mean, and there are ghosts who come out, would be drumming and singing outside, and these blacker than black shapes will come up and start looking at you, kind of weave around. I let them take in K2s. When I did that one time, they were just firing all over the place. We were doing that, so yeah, I mean, I'm just totally, because there's so much, and that to me, that speaks to more of the shaman thing, because there's all this energy in the ground. And every place is different. There are places out there. I don't know if you've heard the Farrar School in Maxwell, Iowa. That place shouldn't be on. There's nothing there. I mean, there was no murders. I mean, it was a school. It was a good place. People liked it. But this is the only place that I have ever felt I really need to go. Usually I wait till somebody say, hey, you want to go to this place? I say, okay. And I don't have like a bucket list. Some people have, I got to go here, I got to go here. I don't have that. One reason I'm too freaking old, so I'm not going to hit them all anyway. So, you know, it's like, but I went on with this place. I was watching this show. I was one of John Tenney Ghost Stalkers. Tenney and Chad Lindbergh, who played Jesse in Fast and Furious. Yeah. And the one guy who got knocked off, you know, and he commits the next 8 or 9 sequel. But he's a nice guy, though, like Chad. But I was watching this thing. I'm like, I said, I got to go. And I've never felt that way before. So, I mean, I get hold of some people. We have an event there, which is a story inside of itself. But here, I've never booked an event before in my life. I'm going to travel from Illinois up to Iowa and don't know anybody up there hardly. And it's like, okay, I don't know what you think you're doing, but we got enough people to show up. We got Elizabeth Saint from Ghost of Shepherdstown. She's a friend of ours. And so, you know, yeah, she bless her, she drove from flipping Denver to there and no guarantee whatever I could pay her kind of deal. And she's such a sweetheart. And I got a feel of the ground. You know, we had to do all stuff inside, but, you know, I was up in there in Farrar, but before I really got the ground thing. And I kept looking out the window, so that's where it's going on. So after that, I was up there 2-3 times after that. And the power of the place, there are power places that shamans, native people are drawn to because it's a good place to do ceremony, a good place to do healing because you got that. The ground seems to emit more energy there. Well, so what do people do? They don't know these things. They just knew it, but they were gone by the time these guys got there and built the school. So I had no idea. And so, but all this energy goes to the place. Well, that attracts ghosts because they like the energy. It's like, you know, eat a Joe sign. I'm going to drop off here and see what's going on. And some stay, some move on. That's why you have the activity there that you do. Pretty wild sometimes. But there's activity outside too. But yeah, I mean, that's That's what I look for. It's the spirit of the place. It's the energy of a place. And that will tell you what's going on for me. And then I can go move on accordingly. But and just try to talk to those spirits. And Farley has a wonderful old tree. It's at least 265 years old. And there was a tree spirit in him. And the guy who was a caretaker, he knew she was there, but he couldn't connect with her. He knew something was going on. So we did a ceremony next to her. And he was able to get to the spot where he could commune with her. And he felt her. And a friend of mine had a geoport. And she was talking to that. And you could, very distinctive voice, tell our story. That's what she told the caretaker. And so, it was a very great experience. Everybody was like, wow, this is really cool. And so we did one of those 2-night things. So the next night we were doing inside. And I'll be damned. I was with my friend with the geoport, Dan class. And
Right.
Dan? Yeah.
Yeah.
So on a different channel, the same voice comes through again, goes, Coyote Chris. It's like, okay, I got you. So that means she was cool. But yeah, that's my favorite thing to do anymore is just to go into that sort of thing. I had this one lady one time. She called me. I'll do house calls if something's messed up energy-wise or ghost-wise. And so she calls me up and I come out. Did a cleansing on her, But she was an artist. And she'd been married for several years. Her and her husband were having problems. She felt like her creative flow was gone. And she was miserable. And so she thought it was just like a spirit some kind was attacking them or something. So I didn't feel any of that kind of stuff. But I go through the house. And I feel something here kind of, I don't know what it is. So I went outside the house. Start, communing with the land. Picking up energies and stuff. I get to the back of the house. And there's a vortex right there. But it doesn't stop at the edge of the house. It goes into the house. So I went back in, lined it up. There was a bedroom. I said, Debbie, who sleeps here? She goes, I do. She was sleeping in a fucking vortex. Sorry about my language, but yeah. And that's what messed her up. Because she eventually moved. And she's doing fine art-wise and stuff. Everything's going really good. But yeah, just too much energy. I got around that thing. I felt ants crawling on my arms. Felt like it was really powerful. But she just wasn't aware of those types of things. And so she wasn't able to pick up exactly what the problem was. But yeah, there's I got all kinds of little stories, but so
For a vortex, though, that's like an energy portal, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And are you does it give off an energy that people are able to feel most times?
To heal, yeah, you can. You can use that kind of energy for anything. Use it for bad stuff too. Yeah, I wouldn't keep you there for a long time, but yeah, you could do that. Be protected, do all sort of stuff. Because some might come out of there too. You just never know. You got vortex and portals. Portals, of course, 2 different things. But yeah, it's energy. Energy in and of itself is what it is. You can kill people with electricity, but it gives me light to my face up. So that's like a lot of these things. Sure, it's good, but anything can be twisted. It's like I use Star Wars all the time as an example. You have the Force. It's what you do with it. Where your heart is. The Wiccans have the threefold law. There may be something to that, I don't know. What you do to others, you get back thrice. Yeah, no, but energy is energy. It's not evil. It's not good. It's there. It's what you do with it.
I was just curious because there's supposed to be a local vortex, and I was wondering if I would be able to, if for most vortexes you would be able to feel it and sense that it's there.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever worked on that sort of thing?
I haven't, but I have been to the place that is supposed to be a vortex around here and didn't really feel
Mm-hmm.
anything. So it might just be like a story, not.
Tell you what, man, send me your email address, and I'll send you some
Hmm?
exercises. They'll help you be able to feel them better. Okay, I'll pass this along to you.
For a place that has a lot of energy, the Hinsdale House has a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm. It does.
um, what was your experiences with those places, especially seeing there's puckwudgies and
Mm-hmm.
shapeshifters, a
Yeah,
lot of different stuff there.
I don't know about shapeshifters, but that's a whole different thing. Um, we could probably do a show on just on talking about that kind of stuff because when
Mm,
people have one opinion of it, I mean, to me, a shapeshifter is a Navajo who does black medicine. Um, that's what they're a Navajo witch. Now, some people use them and say they're these like demonic beings. I mean, I don't know where they got that, but I just stick with the traditional um, examples before I make that jump. I'm gonna have to see something first. I mean, somebody got a call not too long ago, but somebody got 8 shapeshifters in this town. I think bullshit. There's not an 8 shifter, unless there's something new going on I don't know about. But
mm,
people always want to jump in that kind of stuff. Shapeshifters, demons, this and that.
mm-hmm.
Do I believe in the negative spirits? Yeah, I've met them before. They're not nice, and they've got
Yeah.
energy, and they can do bad stuff with the energy. The more powerful ones can. So yeah, I mean there is trouble out there. Don't get me wrong, but don't make it worse by giving it a name that's not, which gives it more power. Because it kills the idea. I'm a demon. My name is Legion. That kind of stuff. Yeah, right. I don't smell sulfur. People I do know that said they've said seen demons that I kind of trust. You'll smell stuff like that. So, I've never encountered. But yeah, I mean, but yeah, as Hinsdale goes, energy's off the hook. There is a tree. There's we can explain Hinsdale. It's way out in the middle of nowhere. In Hinsdale, New York, the little farmhouse. It had a failed exorcism in it. The family there, and so it's the inside is one thing,
Yeah.
but every time I'm in there, I'm always running around outside. So you go up there's a hill up there where there's a tree where people leave offerings for the native spirits. It's right off the path. And also they've got railroad ties and stuff. Now I used to be able to, try to get up that hill. And I think what happened was Dan watched me one time when I was there in 2019. I needed a hip replacement, and I was getting it. Actually, I was flying back on Sunday. Monday morning, I was going to the hospital to get get this fixed. And I think he's somebody trying to get up that hill, and I made it. But next year he put stairs in, so I call them the Coyote Memorial Stairs because he must have had pity. But because when I went back this year, the stairs were there, so it's cool. But there, I saw he had posted a picture of this creature one time. Somebody took out there. It was our Buckwudgie guy, and he posted online and said, "Dude, I know what that is. That's a Buckwudgie." He goes, "What's that?" So I tell him, and so that was when year was that? 2018 maybe. So we're out there and the NSG report. We did the songs and stuff and got a lot of good stuff out of that. And over the box. We went up the hill because that's where they lives, up in there someplace. Now, it's weird up the hill. If you go up there as you're looking up the hill on the right, there's a bunch of trees back there. The story is that a bunch of negative spirits were bound up in there. I don't know if it's true. I mean, I've talked to more than one person about it. Which maybe they did. It was supposedly a Seneca thing, Seneca right. But it started way back, and then they quit doing it, I think. You have to rebind it so many times. But there are spirits still trapped in there, because I tell you that. So that's kind of a weird place on there on the right. We actually this year went back in there further than I ever had. I felt like I could. Before I didn't feel like I could. Because you always ask permission. So, especially if you get a situation like that where the spirits feel trapped. But this year they kind of said, okay, come on back a little bit. And, got some good EVPs, other things like that. Noises sounded weird. And, I've been around the woods a lot in my life. You start hearing stuff you never heard before. So that was pretty, that's a neat place up by the tree. But then we started talking to the pugwudgie up there. And I heard scratching noises on the trees. Things like something was there. And so we told why we were sure to see. We don't want to do one mass shooting stuff. And so didn't get much response. Later on, we were down by the backyard of the house. And all of a sudden the geoport says, pugwudgie. It's like that. Okay. Talks more like it. Pugwudgie twice. Okay, once. Twice, okay.
Yeah.
So there goes this mess with us. Pugwudgie say, or somebody said, yeah, pugwudgie. Then we got this real weird singing coming through it. Don't make funny noises like that sometimes over those things, but it was pretty cool. So let's go back up and let's go a little further so we can find. So we started to go back up and heard this growl. Nope. They're telling us not to go back up. I listen to those guys, those spirits up there. But yeah, you gotta be polite. So we went down to the pond and there's some sort of water spirit in there. And, I don't know. Some childhood trauma. I get down there too,
Yeah.
but they're finding all kinds of crazy stuff out there. They've been doing a lot of digging and stuff. So, which will be coming out.
Yeah, the ground penetrating radar stuff, they're getting a lot of information off of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Technology.
Yeah, no kidding. But, yeah, it's one of my favorite places to go.
Yeah.
For sure. Dan and I are buddies. We were friends. So it's good to hang out with him. But, so, yeah, that's a great place. Now you go in the house. The last time I was there, I never spent much time in the house. Last time I was there, 45 minutes before we were supposed to start raining. We went back inside. I took a group upstairs, and I'm trying to remember. I should record this stuff, but I don't. The geoport or something we're talking about. We're getting some really good answers from the spirits over there about. And you know what I do when I do that stuff? I just talk like I have a conversation. Hey, how you doing? People go, do you know you're dead? How long you been dead? Who's here? I just start talking. And so yeah, we got some pretty cool answers out of that. They're intelligent, not threatening, just kind of shooting the shit. What was it for our one time? We were doing a session down the boiler room. Now there's some type of spirit that lives down there. It's kind of pissy mood most of the time. So you kind of chase him up in the pipes, and he sits up there and doesn't bother anybody. But you have to once you get him up there, he's fine. But so we were talking, and a friend of mine was there, and we were taking different groups in and out. And a friend of mine says, "Did you know Tom Petty was dead?" I think it got kind of a confused response. Um, so okay, so and they were funny as hell. It's like, anyway, so the next group comes in. We get going. Before we ask a question, the box chimes in and goes, "Tom's dead." Tom Petty. So they were being funny, and they could be a scream sometimes. But once you know that you treat them like you're talking to anybody else on the street, they'll tell you cool stuff. One time, okay, so I live real close to Mineral Springs Mall, which is a very haunted place. No, Illinois is really haunted. That's where I grew up in. It's right in the Mississippi. So you got limestone water. So Ghost Adventures came to town, and they were going to, put down the show. So they picked me to come down and be part of it. I do a lot of stuff down. I said, sure. So I go and do it. It was fun. And he always had to act like he's always been real nice to me. Not outgoing, but I was treated very nicely the whole time. So went through our whole thing. I don't know if you saw the show or not, but we were talking about demons in the sub-base. There's no demons in there. I know that. Okay. Been there and there hundreds of times. But, I came across one of those machines. And so anyway, a couple of weeks later, 3 weeks later or so, I have a little group that meets once a month. Chris's crazy chaotic spiritual circle. It's just to come in and hang out and talk about spiritual magic, whatever. I got witches, Reiki persons, native practitioners. It's just a good group. So I've got this thing called a necrophonic. Now, it's a phone app. I love the necrophonic. I get good stuff out of the necrophonic. So I'm not ashamed to say that. Plus, it's a lot cheaper. Anyway, so they wanted to play with that. So, okay. So I have my Bluetooth speaker. So they asked a few questions. Got some answers. So one of them says, this wasn't me, one of them says, did you like Zach when he was here? Right away, no. Okay. How about Aaron? A little bit of a pause. No. So before anybody can say anything else, one of the ghosts says, dude. What'd you say? Dude. I said, are you imitating Aaron? He goes, dude, just like that. And it's like we were just rolling.
Just making fun of the whole thing.
That was so funny. But yeah, you have fun with this stuff. Some people are so serious. And I can be serious too. Part of my gig is if something gets too rowdy, I go after it. That's part of what I do. But I'd rather have fun with them. And they loosen up. And you never know what could happen.
So what other places have you been to in New York State?
In New York State, Shanley Hotel. I was there this year. That was a pretty cool place.
I just seen a video on that today. It seems to be pretty active and very haunted.
It is, and it's kind of. And I broke one of my cardinal rules when I went there. I never sleep in a haunt that I've been working on. But I had to. That's where the only place I had to go. But I put up all my stones up around my bed, and put my defense crystals out, whatever you want to call them. So I didn't have any trouble. But yeah, some of it was kind of dark too. There's a couple spirits in there that kind of nasty. I didn't have any trouble, but a couple of people who were working with me did. So yeah, it's but something was really, it was just fun. You've got that mirror back there in that back bathroom, and some people say it's a portal. So we went and messed with it about 2:00 in the morning. It was kind of weird, but nothing came out. Nothing came out and got us, so okay. But Yeah, it was a cool place. Wildwood Sanitarium. I've not investigated, but I've been there twice. I know Brooke and Lori Ann, so we I'm down there. We try to stop by. So
Still, still a lot of stuff though.
Yeah, you can feel it. It felt like it's going to be a good place to investigate. So yeah, that's the only 3 places I've been to in New York. Being from the Midwest, I don't get out there too much.
Sorry, just have to get the laptop plugged in.
Okay.
Well, what do you use for like your defense crystals and stuff? What is?
I use quartz. I mean, quartz you can make it do pretty much what you want to do. Now, the black onyx or hematite for protection. So basically, I mean, I'm pretty simple, but I just tell the stuff what to do. Now, around my house, I've got a pretty large quartz crystal in every cardinal direction, and you take energy. It's something you learn how to do, and I circle the house with that energy, and I went underneath and above, so it's all connected. So nothing comes in here that shouldn't come in here.
Yeah.
I've got low elementals that come in, things like that. That's because it's okay. But yeah, you go out and do this kind of stuff. Kind of protect yourself. But I have kind of Grant Wilson. So I was listening one time. He goes, somebody's asking about that, about things following him home. He goes, you don't want to follow me home. That's kind of the attitude I have. You come in my house, I may walk in the valley of shadow of death, but I will fear no evil because I'm the meanest son of a bitch in the valley. And that's, I just don't. I don't give him that. I'm scared or anything like that. And can I expound energy? Yes, I can. So that's what we do. But I don't have too much trouble. I mean, usually. But nothing follows me up.
Yeah, definitely don't want stuff coming back. It's like go out there to experience it and not want to experience it at your place in your safe haven.
Yeah, you really don't want it latching on to you.
No.
But is there a specific reason that it's quartz and not any other?
It's more of a neutral to me. Have you ever seen a list of what stones do? It's like 10 pages long, all these different stones. I'm like, shit, that's too much for me to learn. Now, I do the eye and feel test. If I see something I really want, I must need it for a reason. And I'll buy it. If I'm doing a medicine pouch for somebody else, I use stones. I don't even look at what they are. I just feel the ones I want. I feel I should. About what I want. That's what I'm attracted to for that person. Use sage, of course. Cedar. And this is what's stress. We use cedar. So I use both of those. I just, like I said, keep it real simple. I mean, I've got runes. I can use runes if I need to. Depends on the situation. I have a few basic things I do, which I just talked about. Sometimes Spirit will say, do this. And that's what I'll do. So a lot of times, I got a backpack that I carry all my stuff in. A friend of mine calls it my old shit bag. Like, oh shit, Cody's got his bag out. That's what they said. So, but I can do medicine work, paranormal work, seeing work, psychic stuff. That's all in that bag. So I don't know what I'm going to do till I get there. When I get there, I know. And I do it. So, I get the hell away, let Spirit tell me what to do. When I start thinking I know better, that's when I'm screwed. So, that's how it works. Yeah, to me, is the simpler the better. And let the people, let the things that really know tell you what to do. I mean, I got a lot of knowledge about different things. Now I'm doing healing work, I might do it a certain way. Certain basic things. Other than that, I don't, and I have cases full of crystals or different rocks, and crystals and things like that. I might pick up something because it'll come to me. That's what I need, and I'll need it eventually. So it works like that too. So, but I just let them tell me what to do.
So for seeing, you mean like remote viewing, or what do you
You
mean by
know,
this?
I've done a little bit. Um, Mostly it needs. I don't do it for the hell of it. Um, yeah, if I can't get to somebody, I'll do that. Um, I did it one time to somebody put like a little hex on a store I was working at, a new age shop. I was doing readings out of it and stuff. And somebody put something in there, and I remote viewed it and got it out. That type of need, I guess you would say. Um, Somebody's got a problem with the spirit, and they're in Nebraska. I'm down on one. If I can, I will do it. So yeah, I mean, I don't work at it particularly. To me, it's another form of spirit traveling. So, my spirit's going someplace else. Same thing. It's just a different dimension. Instead of crossing the dimension, we're going to stay in this one. So yeah, I will do that.
So now you're involved with the like tour group, Flamery Productions, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. That's
Working
correct.
with some of the former members of the Ghost Hunter team.
Right. Yeah, two of them live in my town. Brian, Murray, and Rochelle. They live in
Hmm.
Alton. Brian's dad and I played football together in high school. We were classmates. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Mustafa and Daryl, they're really good guys. I've got to work with Daryl. I've worked with Mustafa. And then our psychic housewife from New Jersey, I love her to death. Is busted. She and I've worked together 2 or 3 times, and we really play off each other really well. So she's just,
Yeah.
she's really, gets a good bunch of people. Ray Savino's a good guy, works hard for you, and I appreciate that. So, yeah, I mean, there's no BS going on with this bunch. You get what you get what you say. We say you're gonna get, and we all work really hard. So, I feel if somebody's gonna pay money, come see me. I'm gonna give it all I got.
Yeah.
I know some people mail it in. That's not fair. You're gonna get the best out of me that you can get. So, yeah, it's it's a good group of folks, and let's see, I was in the Shanley. Went to the Berkeley Plantation in Virginia. That was kind of interesting. That's where they had the first Thanksgiving, supposedly. And that was weird. I mean, there's a bunch of pissed off native spirits there, let me tell you. And I said, yeah, I'm cool, I understand. I'd be pissed off, dude. I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
So, it's that was a pretty neat place. But yeah, it's so yeah, these are interesting places that it's not some place that's a stab in the dark where there's activity. It's places that are pretty well known to to have something going on, so you get a good time. Yeah, we work hard at that.
But there is also spirits in every space, right?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know the physics. I always tell people, I don't know the rules. So it's hard for me to say if there's something in every space. Um, it's hard to, it's like, why are some ghosts here? Talk about, they're bound through this or that, whatever. That's possible. I mean, I like some of the theories. I don't know. It's not, if I can't be definitive, you're not going to know until you go. I guess, and you really give you a handbook or something. when it's your time. Like in Beetlejuice, I guess we had the Handbook of the Dead. Maybe give you more of those. I don't know. This is what you can do. This is what you can't do. But yeah, I mean, there's obviously physics and quantum physics, all sorts of stuff going on here. This stuff we talk about portals like wormholes. Einstein, Rosen bridges, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's so wide open. So I find it intriguing, but I don't tend to dwell on it. Because that kind of stuff makes you nuts. I just like having fun with it and helping people. That's my number one thing. I'm here to help people. I'm not here to make some great EVP. That's for other people to do. My job is to help people, help spirits, whatever needs to be done. And that's bottom line for me. That's why I bother doing this. I guess that's probably why I don't have like a bucket list. I feel like if I need to be someplace, I'll get to that place. So yeah, that's what it's all about to me. Anybody who's in this field, even if you're doing evidence, that's cool. I love that. If you're doing the science stuff, but it should all be about, you can promote these things. That's fine, but it should be about helping the people that you're there to help. And this stuff where some team will go in and they'll say, well, you got all this activity and stuff going on. We got to go. Okay. No. You find somebody who can help them. Don't just walk away. I know there's teams that do that. It infuriates me. You should have a sensitive on your team, for one thing. Whether you believe it or not. Because they can pick up on that stuff. They're more empathic. So they can try to work with the families and stuff. If you're doing a house case, whatever you're doing. So yeah, I mean, and that's what this is about. Having fun, getting with the ghosts and helping people. That's number one. So yeah, that's kind of my that's what I'm all about. That's why I do this stuff.
I mean, even when you're having fun, you're still learning. So
yeah, exactly.
Still helping people by learning more.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly right. Exactly right.
Got any questions?
Honestly, I'm not good. I wish I can't remember any of the ones I had earlier, dude. Wish I still had my notes. I don't know where they went. I had like a whole list of notes and everything ready before this started. While I was moving in, I lost them. I think I accidentally threw them away. I got them confused with other notes. And I did all these notes like a week or two ago. So I'm sorry. I know I'm being kind of useless right now.
It's all right, man. I get it.
Oh. Yeah. Garth, you want a water? I need a water. Oh, God. I'm good with that.
I don't know. What would your opinion be? Are portals to other, like, physical realms, worlds, or are they to, like, different dimensions?
I'm more prone to say dimensions. Now, as far as what we're dealing with, you get into the other part. There's lots of theories about, because a lot of things about UFOs is about, going back and forth, through these wormholes. So that's another thing in physics. So you can have like energy ones go to different dimensions, but you can also got ones in this dimension out in space. That's another theory. So yeah, definitely possible. But yeah, it's as far as we're concerned, that's how spirits come in and go. I think. Again, I don't know for sure, but that seems to be what happens. So I've seen things going in and out of places, come across places where they come in and out. You can feel the energy. So something's going on.
Also, do medicine men or shamans actually wear the costumes to make them look like animals or something?
They can.
Like,
that's not my
depicted in
tradition.
shows?
No, I mean, I've got things I wear, but I don't.
Yeah.
You can do that. Some traditions teach that. I wouldn't do it just out of curiosity to do it. But yeah, there are people who do that.
So,
Like I said,
what kind of trinkets or what kind of items or totems would you bring with you to do this, or to perform these ceremonies or acts?
um, okay, I have 4 main spirit animals: coyote, the hawk, bear, groundhog. Okay, so if I'm doing a ceremony, I might invoke one of those energies. So I guess you'd say those are my totem animals. Um, I'm also really close with the thunderbird, and so that's a big part of it too, especially when I'm doing healing work. So yeah, you focus on these things, and of course, I think thunderbird, I think certain things. I think about the bear, I think about healing. So I'm in bear mode then. If I'm doing psychic work, it's the hawk, because the hawk sees so many things. And coyote's just me. So that's why, that's why I've got it going. So yeah. But yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, that's basically how I roll.
Okay. Yeah, because I from doing a little bit of my own research, I know some shamans and individuals will use like an actual like kind of like a trigger item. I know a person that lives in my area. They like to use like a piece of the animal or something
Oh,
they keep them.
yeah. I got a
Yeah.
coyote hat. I don't wear
Yeah.
it very much. I do it in my medicine bag. Has a coyote skin on it. Yeah. I don't flash that stuff around, but yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
hmm
Allows you to harness, your energy through
Exactly. I got hawk feathers. I don't have a piece of bear. I ain't looking to go find and get one either. So
it.
no, thank you.
Might be a little bit too much trouble.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that plays a lot into it too. That really helps you. Now I've got all these tattoos and stuff. Now like here, that's a thunderbeam kachina. Oh my god, that's hard to do this on this. That's a coyote right there. So this is my way of saying. So I've got these things with me all the time. So that's my way of showing spirit that yes, I'm in. I accept this. So much so that I'll color it on my skin. So yeah.
Oh,
Big
how
deal.
many tattoos do you have that are uh, that are representative of the spirits and their domain?
Jeez, almost all of them. I can't count them all. See? Yeah. Most of them have some kind of spiritual meaning, like the tree of life here. So I'm part Celtic too, so I got this folk newt there. This guy here, it's Mount K. That's for to help support the Kukai Mount of the people trying to protect Mount K from another telescope. So I donated money and got that tattoo. So yeah, it's a response to a lot of different things. So yeah, you're going. Yeah, right there. It's a Thunderbird over a river, and it's for the water protectors from Standing Rock. And a guy in St. Louis did them on Thanksgiving Day for $50. He sent every nickel to Standing Rock. So it was my way of giving back to them. And I actually this year met the woman who designed that and okayed its use. And it was just kind of cool. She goes, "Wow, I designed that." I said, "Yeah." So it's fun stuff.
Wow, that is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It is indeed. I tell you what, guys, I'm losing my voice. You're straight up with you here. So I had such a great time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Same here. So John, remember, send me your email address, and I'll send you those exercises.
Okay.
You can share them with whoever you want to. Okay.
Probably with the club, yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'll probably share them with the club, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Please do. Please do. Okay. So, if anyone wants to know more about me, go to www.coyotechris.com. I'm on Facebook, Coyote Chris Sutton, Instagram, and what's the other one? Twitter at Coyote Chris S. So that's where you can find me. And, I don't have any events to talk about right now. I'm kind of grounded for a while, so with the breathing issues and stuff. So, but yeah, but I'll keep those updated on my website.
And for anybody that's interested in the club, we'll be posting on our social media about everything that's upcoming as we start going, because this semester is starting here soon. So we're going to have some big things going. Okay. Good evening, or good night, everyone.